phrase, "all men are created equal," has been known as the immortal declaration of our country and is one of the most founding statements that we have. It implies that everyone here is joined by a common bond and a shared purpose to find a common good, and that we will all be treated equally in that process. But there is still one stain in our society which precludes individuals from being treated fairly like they deserve. It affects individuals from every state in this nation, of every race, of every gender, and of every socioeconomic class. And that is of mental health. The way we treat mental health in this country currently undermines the welfare of our nation, and it needs to be addressed. The current lack of affordance to mental health aid, facilities, and attention creates problems for millions of Americans, but this can be fixed by eliminating the systematic stigmas and discriminations, as well as enacting positive change through legislature and our own personal actions. Today I'm here to talk to you about what mental health currently looks like in the United States, and specifically bring it home to what it looks like to all of us living here at Vanderbilt's campus. And then I want to preview some of the options for change to make this a better system in our society. Even though mental health is not always as visible as physical ailments might be, the effects are no less adverse or profound. Mental health across the country is failing, and here at Vanderbilt, our systems are inadequate to provide for a student body as dedicated with goals as far-reaching as the one we have today. I could sit here today and show you diagrams like this. They're colorful, they're easy to read, and they show you who is affected by mental health across the country. But what it doesn't show you is how these individuals have to live their lives. For example, take this into account from the National Alliance on Mental Health. This represents, of those diagnosed with mental illness, every red seat is a person who went to their college administration to ask for help or ask for accommodations and was outright denied these accommodations to help them flourish on their own college campus. Follow this by more studies by the University of Akron, which found that 1 in 5 college suicides happened after that individual sought help from their appropriate mental health facilities on campus, and they were not able to receive the treatment or the care they needed. Suicide is preventable, and these students asked for help but weren't able to receive it. So what does this mean to here in Nashville, to us here at Vanderbilt? Vanderbilt was recently ranked the 8th most stressful university. You may shrug this off and say those rankings and lists are arbitrary, but look at where the statistics came from. They came from the American College Health Association, which looked at factors such as financial stress, environmental dangers like crime rates, and the competitiveness of the environment you're in. Professional psychology elaborated on this article, citing that stress is a known factor for creating vulnerability to experience mental illness. If you're experiencing mental illness or distress on campus, what do you do? Here at Vanderbilt, you will most likely go to the Psychology and Counseling Center, which is known as the PCC for short. However, the PCC, while it works hard and is dedicated to its students, falls short and it's inadequate. The average wait time for an appointment at the PCC is 3 weeks. And in the case of emergency, you can utilize triage services. However, even these have experienced waits. You can expect to wait sometimes up to 45 minutes if you call their triage hotline. If we had a physical emergency and we called 911 because our life was in danger, we would not tolerate listening to elevator music for the better part of an hour. So why do we tolerate this when it comes to mental health services on our campus? Mental health emergencies are no less dangerous or life-threatening than a physical injury can be. In an op-ed piece by Nora Gayer about mental illness and administrative control at high top educations across the country, she found that most administrations use policies where they compare abled and disabled students to create their systems and their organizations. This is an unfair comparison because their lives and their experiences are not equal and cannot be compared. And as a result, many individuals are denied the accommodations they ask for, such as grade extensions or class withdrawals, even if their condition worsens or their competitive function declines significantly. This is all done. I want to tell you all this to make you aware of what it's like here at Vanderbilt if someone experiences mental illness, because awareness is the first step. And the next step is to find out what we can each do as individuals and on societal levels to make a change. There currently is a divide in our society between how we treat mental and physical illnesses, and that divide needs to be eradicated. The first step is to be aware of the stigmatizations and discriminations that exist around us. We may not know it, but it's important to educate ourselves in what language is appropriate, because every day we say things and we do actions which make our campus an unsafe space. So it's important to educate yourselves to be aware of what language you're using and to not stigmatize someone because they may experience mental disorder. The next step, let's look at it on a larger campus level. There are programs such as Active Minds, which have been designed by professionals to work with colleges. Active Minds works to specifically eliminate stigma because when stigma exists, students feel afraid to reach out for help. They're scared that they may face retribution or that they may be shunned from their friends, which is the last thing they need when they're in distress. Active Minds has a section called Take Action. You can use this to find demographics similar to your own campus and use evidence-based solutions to find ways to enact change. But mental health is not just a problem on college campuses. It is a societal issue because it stems from systematic problems, which is why it is imperative that each and every one of us give attention and give support to acts and initiatives on larger public levels. And I want to highlight two of these for you today. The first is the Health Matters Initiatives. This was founded by the Clinton Foundation and has currently been adopted and shown to be successful in over 55 top educational universities and colleges across the country. Health Matters Initiative specifically works to reduce stigma, self-injury, and rates of suicide that happen because college campuses aren't able to provide adequate resources. This initiative works to provide those resources and has seen positive results in reducing the rates of injury and illness. Furthermore, on a very large level is what is known as Congressional Act S-740. Created in 2004, up for renew in 2011, and currently up for renew again, this act must stay in place. S-740 works with campus suicide prevention, but the most important aspect of this act is that it gives fund flexibility to universities. This means that universities are not required to do any program that some governing body tells them. Instead, they can use the funds for mental health for what they need. So for example, on Vanderbilt's campus, that could mean hiring more staff for the PCC so that wait times are decreased and students are able to be seen more regularly. This also means that organizations can afford to train individuals to address a wider range of illnesses because mental illness is not just the top 5. There are dozens of things that students may struggle with, and it's important that every student has the ability to access someone trained to help them specifically. So with these options in mind, I want to work with you to imagine what the future might look like. First, visualize the negative. If nothing really changes, if we keep going along and college campuses keep acting the way they do, what might happen? The University of Emory estimates that suicide rates peak on certain college campuses today at 7.5 per 100,000 students. Well, that might not seem a lot because Vanderbilt only has about 6,000 students. If you extrapolate this across the country, that is 94 suicides happening every single day by people our age on campuses just like ours, and every single one of these is preventable. Suicide does not have to happen. Furthermore, if we don't enact change, the systematic errors in our society will perpetuate. Currently, mental health is not afforded complete recognition through programs like the DSM or even through public health services. This means that individuals are precluded from even gaining access, and they are also precluded from getting the specialized care they need. But this is not what it has to be like. Using initiatives and using positive actions on our own, we can enact positive change. I want you to imagine what that might look like. If you're experiencing mental distress here on Vanderbilt, you'd be able to call the PCC hotline and expect to be received immediately by a trained professional who is adequately able to aid you and to make sure you can keep functioning at the highest level that you deserve to function at. When we give accommodations to those with mental illness to help them, we allow them to flourish. We give their disability visibility. And with these accommodations, we allow them to have the respect and dignity that they deserve as a student on our campus. To bring this to a close, I want to review with you both of these potential visions for the future. There is a positive and there is a negative, and neither is set in stone. It's up to the actions of each and every one of us that we take to guide what our future will look like. And I encourage all of you to think of the impact this may have on our campus here at Vanderbilt, but also all your friends who go to different colleges across the country, what that impact might look like for them. To review, I just want to remind you that mental illness is no less important than physical illness. By failing to give recognition to mental illness, specifically on college campuses where it is proliferating rapidly, we endanger the lives of students every single day. The accumulation and proliferation of stigmas means that we are denying space and safety to students on our own very campus, and that's not what we are about as Commodores here at Vanderbilt. That is why I challenge you all to bring an open mind when it comes to discussing mental illness. Asking for help is not a sign of weakness. It is up to all of us to become supporters. And being a supporter does not just mean signing a petition, though this is still an active, valid first step. It means educating ourselves how to avoid microaggressions and stigmas in our speech. It means not defining an individual by their mental illness. Someone we know is not simply a manic depressive or a schizophrenic or an anorexic. They are our friend, our roommate, and our classmate, and above all else, they are a human being. And every single person on this campus deserves to be treated with respect and dignity. When we deny visibility and equitable discourse to mental illness, we invalidate the lives and experiences of those around us every single day, and that's not what it means to be here at Vanderbilt. That is not our goal. This is why I challenge you all to take action, to make mental illness not a preclusion to access to education here at Vanderbilt, to urge your senators to co-sponsor acts like S740, which aim to give us aid that we might not otherwise have, and to engage campus and to create initiatives yourself to make this space safe for everyone around you. Thank you.